Namaste, Jai Bharat. Now we see that Trump is moving from tariff game to sanctions. He had sanctioned two Russian oil companies, including Rosneft. That amounts for at least half, 50% of Russia's oil export. This is sanction. And the sanction is very interesting. A sanction through ships, transferring through ships. But then Russia has got oil pipelines laid between different places, maybe including they have also gas. And this agreement is unaffected by the sanctions because these are the agreements between nations to nations, where the companies are not involved. The sanctions Trump puts is on some companies. Now there are many options for people, those who want to buy. This kind of sanctions are actually, it appears to be eyewash and face-saving exercise of Trump. He had been very boisterous, saying so many things and doing so many things. Maybe that many people support him and maybe that many people don't support him within his country, the US. People are generally not very happy with him. Much different from what it used to be in the beginning. People supported him. He has many positive sides which the American people want, and many things are equally or even worse negative. So this is something like I feel it's something like an eyewash or a face-saving exercise of Trump. Otherwise, the sanction is for two companies. Maybe those companies amount to half Russian exports through companies. But there are many other companies in Russia. These people can have an understanding with some other companies who are not sanctioned, and this trade can go on for quite some time. Another thing, that America themselves buy gas and things from Russia. That they wanted to cover up. And the European Union can't exist without Russia's oil support, either implicitly or explicitly. They can't exist without their gas support. So, on the one hand, he wants to say that they have put sanctions. At the same time, on the other hand, he also wants to get the benefit. They depend on Russia. That's a problem. The European Union and America, they depend on Russia in some ways or some other ways. Explicitly, they depend on the minerals, which if Russia doesn't give, they will have problems. They cannot find out alternate so easily and within some stipulated time. So these are all problems in front of Trump. And Trump is turning, or maybe his advisors are becoming wise or practical to say that you have to sanction, but sanction in such a manner that the sanctions won't really be effective as sanctions as they're supposed to be. This could be the reason. This is what I understand from this kind of sanctions. Rosneft is a company with which we have direct connections. We will look for alternatives. Actually, there are a lot of loopholes in these sanctions where people can look for alternatives or some alternatives and some other arrangements where things would not become standstill. Nothing will get stuck. This is again funny kind of geopolitics. Actually, America still wants to bully the world, still wants to show that they are authority, but all those days are gone. Now they really have to cling on to that kind of a glory. Let's see how things turn out. I'm not really not very critical also about the sanctions, which this is just different kind of things Trump does, and he puts it in his some network which he calls in some other name instead of Twitter. He puts things and says something in the morning, something in the afternoon, something else in the evening. So this kind of uncertainty actually affects the policies of a nation, and the other people who are working with him will have to struggle, and these struggle will reflect in their work, and general unhappiness will enter into the people of America. They are very they're actually a carefree kind of a society who do not want to take things serious. They would like to work their week through and enjoy a weekends and don't save anything. This is a general trend that what people say or what I've seen from the American society. They'll just work through a week, just go by the weekend, and then they believe they go out, they go outing, this thing, that thing, etc. They enjoy, and they consider that's a kind of life they have, that they believe that they're living, or at least they experience that they're living. So their categories of operation is different from other societies. So you can't easily understand others, and also others can't easily understand the American society. Nonetheless, so long as they're indifferent largely to this kind of geopolitics. So long as they remain indifferent, these kind of leaders can go on doing many foolish things with hardly any criticism. Trump goes on. Let's see how far it can go. But the sanctions really are not going to make any difference. And because of such actions, what happens is there is the multipolar world emerges. If there is an America who is doing something which I don't like, I would look for alternative. Actually, I have space to look for alternative. And this is what every country should do. Every continent, every nations have history of subjugation, implicitly or explicitly, by certain powers, especially the Europeans. They were having some kind of upper hand, especially after the two European wars. They tried to dominate the world, and the people did not like it, but then they had to undergo it under some kind of coercions and compulsions. But that can't hold forever. There will be time when they have to withdraw, and these people will revolt. Revolt in the sense they will resist, and then they will overcome. They will look for alternate sources. So the sanctions are not to be taken that serious. Let's see what happens. Time is the best medical doctor. We shall meet. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Sri Ram.